Hey guys, and welcome back to our level creation video series. So in previous video we were able to create a player controller with a first person view so that we could traverse around the level that we are creating. Additionally, I put a small cube inside the player object just so that I can identify uh, which direction this capsule or the player character is facing. So right now uh, our character is facing towards the uh, positive side direction of the z axis. You can see because of the cube scaled cube that I attached to the capsule. We can even position it as a gun. You can see in the game window how it looks in the main camera. You can place it in a proper position, and I'll make this cube a child of our main camera so that wherever the camera turns, this cube will follow as if you are holding a gun in the first person shooter games. Okay, now it's a good time to move to the next step of our level creation, which is creating a prototype level for this first person character to move around. In this video, I am making an interior level for this character. In other words, within this level, you will not walk into outside environments. You will be strictly moving inside the building or a certain enclosed environment. I am using the ProGrids and ProBuilder packages to create my prototype level. ProBuilder is a tool within Unity that lets you design, prototype and playtest levels in a rapid manner during the development of your game. You can edit your level within the Unity editor itself and playtest it without switching back and forth between different softwares. And ProGrids is another tool that can be used to snap objects within a grid system inside the Unity editor. Okay, first let's import the ProBuilder package to our Unity project. You can import packages to your project using the special package manager within the Unity engine. You can open the package manager by going to Window and Package Manager. Okay, this is the package manager window. You have several new packages that you can import. I'm going to search ProBuilder. Okay, you have this package here. It's a verified package for the latest Unity version 2019.4, and I'm going to install it into my project. You will have to wait some time to fully import your ProBuilder package into the project. After that, let's go and install ProGrids, which is a preview package. So in our advanced option, we will have to select show preview packages. I already have it selected. You guys probably won't have it. If not, you can click it and enable to show preview packages. Then I am going to search ProGrids and install this preview package into our project. Right. After the ProGrids package is successfully installed, you will see this small UI widget inside your scene window, which lets you control the ProGrids parameters to your own advantage. For an example, I can change the snap settings of the grid size into a value that I can manage. So if it's 1, and I can select my player object, and let's go to the move tool, and when I move it, you will see it is moving in steps. It is moving step by step within the ProGrids grid system. Okay. And also clicking this small button snaps the selected object to the nearest grid point in the ProGrids grid system. So that will be very easy when you are trying to snap objects without dragging it around using the mouse. Now let's see how we can access the ProBuilder tools. In our tools menu, you will see a link to ProBuilder edit window. You can use these links to control the mesh you are selecting in the hierarchy. Okay, now I am going to adjust my editor windows so that it's easy for me to handle all these windows and objects easily. You guys can move these windows to your own preference before starting work so that it will be easy for you. Okay, I think this looks okay, and let's go to creating our level here. Now I am using this new shape button to create a ProBuilder shape inside my scene. In this shape tool, you can select which object you want to create, which shape you want to create. I'm going to select cube, and okay, and I'm going to click build. Right. Now I don't want this. Let's close it. Now we have a ProBuilder cube created inside our scene. I think you can see there's a set of buttons appearing with the ProBuilder window. These buttons let you select the entire object or the single vertices of the object or the edges or even the faces of the ProBuilder object. Let's just keep our cube in a safe position. Let's reset the cube's transform so that it goes to the 0, 0 position of the scene or our game world. Now I am going to disable my player object by clicking this tick icon in our inspector, and you will see our camera or the game view disappeared. So I will add another camera so that the game view can capture the game world using a camera object. While selecting any object in the hierarchy, you can press F2 in your keyboard and rename this object. I am going to rename this as temp cam. This is a temporary camera for our project, for our game world. Okay, now while this camera is selected in the hierarchy, I am going to game object in the menu align with view. Okay, you can see our camera aligned with the scenes editor view. So our scene view got duplicated into the final game view easily. You can select this small finger icon near our game objects so that it won't unnecessarily get selected while editing our level. Okay, I think it's better if our temp camera shows the level from the top view. So I'm going to click the y-axis of the top right gizmo and let's select our camera and go to game object and align with view. Okay, and then we can change our projection in the camera into orthographic so that you won't see the perspective distortion of the objects while seeing through the game camera. Even right now you can see in our game view you are seeing a square instead of a cube. That's the special property of this orthographic projection that we added to the camera. Okay, now let's start creating our level using this single cube. So let's modify this cube's shape into something similar to a corridor. So I am switching to face selection mode by clicking this last button in the Pro Builder button collection. I think you can see when I hover on the object, each face gets highlighted. When I click and drag along one of these axes, you can see our cube gets scaled along that axis, creating a new shape. As I do not have any exact measurements for the level's dimensions, I am enabling the player character to compare the size and scale it up further so that this corridor that I am making is spacious enough for our player character to walk through. Okay, now we look at our game view on the right side. Our level has scaled out of the game view or the game camera's viewport. To take our level back into the game camera's viewport, we can increase the size of our orthographic camera so that our level gets smaller inside the game camera's view. Then we can change the x and z parameters of the transform of our temp cam so that we can position our level object inside our game view in a proper place. Now we can scale our level up without taking it outside the game view. So I am stretching my shape further to make this look like a long corridor. Okay, now I am going to use, so I am planning to end this corridor into some sort of a room. For that I am going to use this extrude command in our Pro Builder window. You can see it added an additional loop of edges to our shape, and if we stretch it further you can see we have more faces added to all four sides of this shape. Now I am going to use the scale tool and scale up the selected face like this. You can see our corridor expanded, giving this unique look. So now I am using the move tool to move this face a little bit upwards so that our flow gets turned into a ramp when we are near to that small room. Okay, now we can extrude this same face again to create our room in front of this entrance. You can either click the extrude command or hold shift and drag this face to create this room. Okay, I think this space is enough. Let's drag it more. Fine. We can add more alternate paths into our small room so that the level branches out into different locations, and then have more shortcuts so that our player can go through different areas in the level while playing the game. So I am using the extrude option or extrude command again to scale down this space to turn it into another separate corridor that starts from this face. I am making another ramp here by moving this face downwards and dragging it away from this room like this. Okay. Now to make another corridor, we can extrude this face by holding shift and dragging this face. Now we have another corridor coming out of this room. So now I am going to repeat this process again to another face of this room to create another corridor. Now I am creating an additional plane so that we can add the color beneath this level to actually see this level layout properly. This is not something that you have to do. I'm just adding this to get a contrast between the level geometry and the environment. You can create a new material and change the color and just assign it to the plane. And I'm scaling this plane so that it covers the majority of this level geometry. Now when I click this object, you can see some of the edges are intersecting with the extra plane that we added. Then we can move this face so that it only touches this temporary plane. By extruding and extending faces, we can further create more corridors and rooms, just like we did for this small section of this level. So let's continue to expand our level like that. Pro Builder gives you options to add new loops of edges into your existing geometry. This option also lets you split existing faces just like you do when you extrude a face along a axis. So I can make a bend in my corridor like this by stretching or extending this perpendicular face instead of going through the face I was selecting previously. Now let's keep on extruding, scaling and extending faces to create more parts of this level. Instead of keeping our corridors in the same level or in the same elevation, we can add a slope to our corridors by moving the face up or down like this. Then you can extrude again and let's extrude this face again and let's make a bend in this corridor so that it goes into this central room. We can select this face and holding shift scale down and switch to the move tool. Let's move this up and again using the scale tool and shift I'm extruding a face. Let's with the move tool let's move it up a little bit and extrude our top face like this. Okay, now we have some sort of a roof with a uh, top structure. Okay, we have a simple level with traversable paths and a central arena like structure. But there's a small issue with our level. What you see in this editor is the exterior view of our level. But the player character has to walk inside this level. So we can switch this exterior surfaces into interiors by a single click. All you have to do is select the building object and in our Pro Builder window click flip normals. Let's delete our this temporary flow object. Looks like my first person character is outside the level, so let's move it inside here and we can playtest our level by going to play mode right now. Okay, so you can see our game window on the right side, and our character can actually move around in the level. So let me just increase the move speed in our player script. Okay, now let's go back to a play mode. Yeah, let's maximize this. Oh, okay, let's stretch the window so that we can see both game window and the scene window. Right, so we can walk around in this level easily. Right, and now we went into a dead end. The corridor doesn't open up to the central arena. If you look at our player, it goes and stops at the end of our corridor. So we'll have to cut holes along the corridors and connected walls so that an entrance is made for the player to enter our central arena. While you are creating your level, you may accidentally uh, add extra vertices or extra edges that have actually no purpose in your uh, overall level. So if we check our level, you can see there are two faces here. You can select them and merge faces so that they merge to become one. Also, you can check if you have multiple faces that are actually doing no special thing to your look of your level, just select and merge them. Not just additional faces, if you have additional vertices, you can go to vertex selection mode in the top four buttons and select them while pressing Ctrl, and in your Pro Builder window you can uh, collapse these multiple vertices so that they merge into one vertex instead of having so many vertices. If you want to divide your face to smaller parts, you can subdivide using your Pro Builder window and convert faces into a collection of smaller faces like this. When I tried to enter the main room using a corridor, we saw that we could not enter the main room because there was no entrance from the corridor to the main room. We have to make these entrances by cutting holes in the main room surface. So I am selecting the bottom floor face here and extruding a face. You hold shift and with the scale tool you scale down the extruded face. Now you can click delete face in the Pro Builder window so that a hole is made in the place that we had a extruded face. I followed the same process to cut holes in the other walls to connect these corridors into the main room. I did some additional changes to my level. Let's see what they are in detail. To make this level more fun, I added the bridge system connecting the three entrances like this. These bridges are made with just three simple cubes extended to places that I wanted. And I added an additional corridor system that goes beneath the actual corridor system so that it works like a tunnel. I'm going to extrude a face from this tunnel system and connect a path to the hole that we made in the floor face of this uh, main room. So now I want to connect this extruded new face, not this one, okay, this one, to this hole I created in the floor. But I find it a little bit difficult to target this the end of this corridor to align with the position of this hole. So I'm going to switch my view into isometric like this, and now you see only the bottom view of this level. So now I can easily drag the end of my corridor to align with this hole. Right now you can see it aligns perfectly well. So now I select the perpendicular face that I want to extend. Now I can drag it towards the hole like this. Now we must connect this face with the entrance or the hole in our ground face. So we have to align this face into this position of our entrance like this. Okay. I'm noticing a small gap between this face and the entrance which should not happen. So I'm going to snap my face towards the nearest grid points. Okay. Now I'm going to edge selection mode. Select this bottommost edge and move it towards our entrance like this. Now I must delete this face that is covering the end of our corridor. So I switch to face mode or the face selection mode like this and select the face I want to delete, and in the Pro Builder window click delete face. Right. Now our corridor ends in the hole in the floor and we can enter into the arena using the corridor easily. Okay, now I'm going to test my level again. Before that, let's select our building and flip the normals to flip our surfaces into interiors, and now we can go and check our underground corridor. Right. So I must go right from here down and take a left and again a right, up, and I'm stuck. Okay. I can't go beyond that entrance for some reason. So we have to figure out a way. Let's double click our player and see. Okay. So our player is taller than the height of the corridor. So it gets stuck before entering the arena. So we have to adjust our corridor area or the volume of this corridor to match our player's volume. We can easily do it by adjusting the edges that are creating this entrance and the hole in the floor. But still they are not connected to each other. They are moving independently. So that's kind of difficult, right? So the easiest way is select both of these edges and merge them using connect edges in the ProBuilder window. And then when you select this edge, both of the connected faces move in unison as they are part of the same face. Since I don't have exact measures, I am going to leave this a little bit high volume and try again. Okay, going down, left, up, right. Okay, that seems okay for the player to go through. I think this is pretty much enough for the level creation. To add the final touch, let's just make sure that all of our edges are in the exact positions or in good numeric positions rather than having decimal positions. You can go back to our ProGrids window, ProBuilder window, and switch to edge mode. Select all our objects and just you can draw over it so that all the edges are selected. But there is one problem because the objects that are inside our level are not getting highlighted by this process. So that is something I have to think about in the upcoming steps. So for now I am going to select my outer level here, and in the ProGrids window click snap to edges or snap to grid button, and all our edges get snapped to correct grid points. Okay, now we have a proper level for our first person character to walk around, explore, and maybe find shortcuts and do many other actions a game can do. So I am going to stop this step of creating the level geometry from here. So I am going to stop my video from here. See you guys again with another video on improving this level further.